Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Source Snack Break. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, 2/2/22, which is kind of fun. I've got Erik Waldorf here today. Welcome, Erik. So
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
I'm excited to learn about these fun wallpapers. And as everybody's joining in the room here, just want to let you know that you have been muted automatically, but you can use the chat that you see on the right-hand side of your screen to ask questions as we go along. Let us know what you think about what we're showing you. And we'll keep an eye on that and try to answer the questions as we go through the presentation. And we'll also have a couple minutes at the end if we don't get to them. So welcome, and please do feel free to let us know along the way if you have any questions, or again, we'd love to know what you like and are enjoying. Also, if you need to step away for a minute, this will be sent to you, and the slides will be sent to you after the presentation, as well as your gift card as a thank you for joining the presentation today. So you can look for both of those emails shortly after we wrap today. So Erik, welcome. I'll turn it over to you and let us know a little bit more about what you're going to be sharing today.
Great. Thanks, Brittany. As I mentioned, I'm Erik Waldorf. I am the Abnormals Anonymous rep for the Pacific Northwest and for Northern California, Pacific Northwest being Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. And then primarily in the Bay Area. I know there are folks on from various parts, so if you're not in my territory, no worries. We can find your rep and get you in touch with that person or directly with Abnormals Anonymous. So a little bit about Abnormals. They were started in 2012. It's a married couple, Trey King and Lauren Love. They don't go by Trey or Lauren in their marketing material. It's kind of just fun. But they, short story is they discovered each other at a conference and both have a love of wallpaper and started the company in 2012. I came up to the Northwest also in 2012 from the Bay Area. And I started representing Abnormals Anonymous in 2013. So I've been with them for nearly the entire journey, which has been a lot of fun. They're great people, great product, and I love working with them. So as it's mentioned here, it's wallpapers that just want to have fun. It's a whimsical collection of papers, and we do a lot in both the residential or all disciplines, really, residential and commercial disciplines throughout. So we'll get going. What I want to talk about, a little bit about where we started. Abnormals Anonymous, this is Mr. Blow, and he is kind of the mascot of the company. He became the mascot of the company. He's a very successful paper. And we do our papers in both a standard Class A clay-coated paper, and we do it on a printed vinyl. And the printed vinyls are clean vinyls. We can do any of our colors. So when you see something, it can be done as a vinyl. It is not typically printed as standard in a vinyl, although if it's with a Mylar back, like these two, the Goldfinger and Atlantis, these are both automatically vinyls just because of the ground that they're using. The first collection was probably their largest collection in the very beginning, and it had a little seafaring look to it. I'm not going to go through all the collections, but I will go through our newest collections. So Odyssey Collection came on board and was going pretty strong just before COVID hit. We did get to do the BDNY show in November of 2019. And the collection has been very successful. It was our foray into a floral environment. These are sort of large-scale florals. The specs you can see there again. This is on clay-coated papers, but can be done on the vinyls. And also regarding the vinyls, we do have a variety of not a large variety, but we do have a variety of textures that can be used in different commercial environments as well. This particular pattern is called Secret Garden in the 4 colors.
So pretty.
It is really pretty. This is Love You More. and Love You More. Grandma Gert, also known as Mimi, always responded to Love You, Mimi, with I Love You More. So it became one of the paper's names, Love You More. Captivating, strong, gentle, beautiful, and free in the 4 colors there. And then we had Supernaturally, just in the 1 color. But yeah, really pretty. Occurring outside, the normal experience, abnormal. And these patterns, were interestingly enough, came from Pat Nugent. She didn't create the patterns, but locally here in Seattle, there's a gal, her name is Pat Nugent, who has a variety of archived prints and patterns from all over the world. Which she does a lot of work in the fashion business, the textile business. And I introduced her to Lauren and Trey. They got together. They went through her archives, pulled a lot of patterns because they knew they wanted to go towards a floral direction, and then adapted these patterns to what they wanted. So they changed the scale. They removed extra fluff, maybe you want to talk about it as such, in a pattern, and created their own. But it's just a way of seeing how that collaboration was exciting.
That's very cool. I love that.
The next and newest collection, this just came out within the last couple of weeks. It's been worked on for a long time. It's always creating a collection is always a process for any textile or wall covering, any vendor. And particularly so when you're small like Abnormals. It's a 3-person company, and then all of us reps up. Yeah, so it's a lot of work to kind of set everything aside and go, okay, we have to create some new and out there. But Cabin Fever collection. Oddly enough, we probably all are suffering a bit from cabin fever over the last couple of years. But this, in that whimsical touch, was kind of showing Come Fly With Me, obviously, is the fisherman's flies that are used. We also do this in a grass cloth. I'm not showing the grass cloth on here because I think most of you might be in the contract, but you might use grass cloth too. We also have it in a grass cloth. The second pattern is, yeah, Summer Breeze. This one is a little bit of a contemporary toile. So when we first got going as a company, Abnormals, they did have a few more contemporary toiles. Those have since dwindled a little bit, but we reintroduced this one with Summer Breeze. Also comes in a grass cloth. And then the final new pattern in the Cabin Fever collection is Sawtooth, which has that sort of Pendleton blanket kind of direction. Also comes in a couple of grass cloths. So those are 2 new collections, but I wanted to talk about a little bit, focus on some of what Abnormals can do. We have our standard collection. So everything is printed to order. There's nothing stocked ever. It's right now we're running at about a 4 to 6 week lead time.
Okay.
Usually around that 4-week period, but I don't want to get anybody too excited.
That's still not bad, though. Yeah.
It's really not. And we can rush. There is a rush charge. We can do it in 2 weeks plus shipping. So if you use standard shipping, it would be a week. But we can do that if it's really, really important that we get this paper to you. But I want to talk a little bit about some of our custom capabilities because it is all printed to order. Now these are 2, Flashdance is a standard pattern, and these 2 colors are standard, but this sort of might help one show what we can do with a custom direction. So any of our papers, we can essentially flip it and reverse it, and we take on that custom color just with having the inversion of the other of the pattern. So you can kind of see it here in an actual pattern that we're doing. I also put down here in the our copper mylar that was introduced with this pattern. So we do a copper, a silver, and a gold in the mylar ground, which will come into a custom one that I'll show here in a minute. This
one question that came in just from Lisa. I think maybe she was referring to the last collections that we were just showing. If the colorways that were shown, are those the only ones that are standard, but the rest you do offer custom options? Is that correct?
Correct. In both the Odyssey and the Cabin Fever collection, the ones I showed were all the colors and the standard colors. So, and we can do custom. Custom, we do a strike-off fee, and then that covers, more than one back and forth if needed. We can use a Pantone or Benjamin Moore color. Those are sort of our easiest, but honestly, we could even use a fabric swatch and color match from there. So, but yes, the ones I just showed were the standard colors.
Perfect. And then Luke had another question too about if there's minimum quantities that are required for
it's 5 yard, so 5 yard min, and we can generally print up to 30 yards on one bolt. Sometimes it's more. It's just, if you need 35 yards, sometimes we can do 35 yards. We're not going to give you a 30 yard and a 5 yard bolt. We can often do it on one, but we just need to know how many yards you need. But typically it's around a 30 yard bolt that we can get everything onto. And it is sold by the yard, not by the square foot. I know in contract land, we like to talk square footage about walls, but in wallpaper land, we like to talk about yardage. So ideally, have your installer give me or your rep the yardage quantity needed, because that's going to be the easiest way to give you pricing and information. We can often do a guesstimate based on your square feet, but we won't rely on it. Like if that doesn't change and it comes back gets sold that way and you need more, makes it more difficult to reprint, because it's all printed to order, make sure it's matching, et cetera, et cetera. So important to know the yardage. Talking about scale, these are also standard in the line. So this collection came in King of Pop, super fun. It's the larger popcorn pattern, which has a sort of a floral aspect to it. And then the smaller, Pop It Like It's Hot. And I usually do that with a nice little pop with my dance move, but can't do that here. But we originally were only going to do King of Pop. It does come in 3 colors. And before it was launched, a client wanted to rescale to the smaller version you see there, Pop It Like It's Hot. We liked it so much, we just moved it right into the line, and it was a nice way to sort of show everybody, look what we can do with scale. That was right in the book that I could play with. This is also some custom scale changes. So on the floral on the left, I guess it's on everybody's left, with the pink, that's actually a larger version of the Odyssey Collection. Secret Garden, it's called Cherry Bomb is the color. And then we did a custom large scale mural in this coffee shop. This is Floria, I believe. It might be, I can't remember which one it is, but anyway, it doesn't come that big in standard paper. We did this on a mural level, and it was actually a set for a commercial. So we did it for a commercial, just had this large scale blow up of our standard pattern.
Kind of gives the William vibes. That's what I think of when I see those beautiful flowers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the floral because it is more contemporary, not so traditional, and kind of keeps that sort of floral element going. Some custom here. This is more custom color with the Love You More on the left was a custom gray, but then we also did the Mylar ground with the gold. So you get that little bit of gold that was coming through, gives it a little bit more of this Art Nouveau experience in this washroom. And it was fun. It was completely custom. So we can do that for you. And this particular Love You More doesn't typically have the metal element. So that was really nice to be able to play with that for somebody. And then we have a full-on custom color with Flashdance on the right. And sometimes your custom color could end up becoming part of the line. If we love it so much, we always love every custom color that we do, but if we really love it, it might even become part of the line. This is some kind of full-on custom design. So on the left, we did a food truck and copied their logo. I don't know how well you can see it, but in the back panel there, inside the food truck, we did a wall covering that covers the back in their logo. And then on the right, we did a custom doggy toile wallpaper using this client's own dog's image that we
I love that. That's so amazing.
of fun. So I want to just talk a little bit about those custom capabilities. And then also talking about wallpaper, because this is all standard and it's not the least expensive wallpaper out there, as you might imagine. We can work with pricing with contract firms, but knowing, the price going in, typically these are 80 to 104 net per yard. Again, it's only a 5-yard minimum, so you don't have to buy extra. But also maybe you're doing something where you can have some fun and maybe it's just on the ceiling. So I kind of wanted to show these images where they had some wallpaper on the ceiling because we don't always see that. And it just gets
I
the
love that
creative
idea.
juice. Yeah. So that's Abnormals Anonymous.
Perfect. That is so fun. I makes me want to go and get some wallpaper on on my blank white walls. So it seems like
Yeah.
everybody's got great feedback. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And I know a couple of people will connect you afterwards for more information, it sounds like. But this is really fun to see. And, I love ones like this. They always get your mind thinking of new ideas and everything. So and just as a reminder, if everybody will get a copy of this and the slides after the presentation along with your gift card. So Erik, thank you so much. We'll be back again next week with a new snack break, but appreciate you being here and showing us the latest from Abnormals Anonymous.
Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. I like it.
Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.